Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Miriam and Unos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Sweet little lies.
Are we lying? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always down for a good lie.
We're lying, but no, we're not going to lie. We love Younger, and this is what we're doing today, the Younger After Show. And I am Tara Johnson, and I'm here with three fantastic Younger loving super fans, and we're going to tear this after show from the rooter to the tutor. So, we will start.
Rooter to the tutor.
I'm Southern, honey. Rooter to the tutor. So, we're going to start everyone introducing themselves.
Do you know what's so good? This is the first time they were all together, so it's so good. About bloody time.
Maybe one other time.
Happened before.
Oh, no, it hasn't happened once before, but good to have us all back together finally.
Yes.
So I'm Dan Babic. You can find me on Instagram at Dan Babic, and the same on Twitter, but with an underscore. And I've got to say, as much as I love Hilary Duff, the more and more I listen to her songs, the more and more I realise that she's a terrible singer. But do you know what? It makes me love her even more.
And this is how we start the show.
Yeah, I was just listening. I was
I don't
like,
think
God,
you're
she's
terrible,
shit, but like,
Hannah.
it's so catchy. You guys still gotta love it. But anyway,
I don't think she's terrible.
shocking, but we love her still. It's so catchy. You can't diss the Hill Duffer. I love it.
Well, anyways, I'm Lindsey Miller. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rockin' Mama Life.
And I'm Sam Davidson, aka huge Hill Duff fan, and her songs are the shiznits. Big fan. And you guys can find me at SamD43 on Twitter and Instagram.
And you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Please rate, please comment, let us know, how do you feel about Hilary Duff's songs? Is she the shiznits or not so much? That's question number one. But we are Younger, Season 2, Episode 6, Un-Jaded. Ladies and gentlemen.
And gentlemen,
I
yes.
didn't forget you.
And I could almost classify as a lady, but that's all right. I'm probably wearing more makeup than all of you girls. I've got more hairspray in my hair, so I think that classifies as a lady almost. Yeah.
All right, ladies.
We
Yeah.
started this episode like in a loving cuddle, only to be awakened by some 40-year-old shoulder. I didn't feel any sympathy, for Liza. What are we thinking of the 40-year-old shoulder?
I think that literally her body is telling her to stop lying.
Oh,
look at
Love it, Sam.
How about that?
I didn't know 40-year-old shoulder existed. It's actually adhesive capsulitis. And I thought her doctor was a horrible, horrible human being. He literally was like, you're going through menopause and nature deems you no longer necessary.
Yeah, that was a little bit much.
So you're going to start to decay. I was like, that's a little...
Yeah, I was like, you're a misogynist. Jesus.
a little bit rough.
I was like, look at her body, as if she's gonna decay. Like,
Right.
she's so hot, like she's so skinny and so on point. So, doctor, you are wrong.
Yeah, but
But
what
I love Josh.
that's the thing. Like, she's so embarrassed that he's sitting here and the doctor's like, this is your 40-year-old shoulder. And he's like, well, we better get to work.
Yeah.
And like,
Before you fall apart.
I loved Josh in this episode. We didn't see him enough, but what we did see was like fantastic.
Although I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this episode really pushed it to the point where I was like, I wonder if at some point the age is going to bother Josh. Like, as much as he doesn't want it to and he doesn't think it matters, I feel like things are going to continue happening, and I wonder if at some point, I don't know, do you guys get that feeling? Like, at some point something's going to...
Yeah, every episode it's like,
Creep
your
in.
girlfriend's old. Your girlfriend's
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
Every episode. So it's not like it's just a once in a while
Yeah.
reminder, and things are starting to happen to her life and her body that
She's
like are
literally
different
falling
than yours.
apart.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous, and he made a joke out of it, which
Yeah.
I loved. He was absolutely
He's so
amazing.
sweet, yeah.
And I would be really pissed if they tore them apart, but you do keep on seeing things that might be roadblocks in the future.
Yeah, I mean, but what else they're gonna like? He is the only person who really knows. So,
Right.
and they have to keep reminding us that this is what the show is about, because if we didn't see this, we would think the show was about like Kelsey and Liza. Like, it would be completely a different show. So this is like your reminder ding, ding, ding. It's supposed to be about she being a 40-year-old pretending to be 26-year-old. Like,
I
that's
do
a
have to
reminder.
say, because I'm a huge fan of the show. I think it's been taken to new heights this season, but I'm a bit over it. Like, every episode is the same shit. Like, oh, I'm 40 and I'm pretending to be 25. Like, what am I going to do? Like, we get it, okay? You're 40, he's pretending to be 25, okay? Can we focus on something else?
I don't know. I think we
26.
got a lot of good stuff in this episode to focus on.
We did, but like I'm just a bit like she just keeps hanging on about it. Okay, yeah, we get you pretending. You don't have to talk about it every episode, every 2 or every 3, but every single episode, every time she can bring it up, she brings it up, doesn't she?
Well,
I'm lying as well. I'm pretending
Shona
I'm
brought
30
it
in my
up.
job. I talk about it once a week, not every day, Liza. So calm down.
She only talks about it once a week too.
Once. Oh
why-
yeah, you are right. Yeah, I just
On
want to see more of my
Wednesday
Hilary,
night.
more of my Kelsey.
Oh, I mean, let's say that.
Yes.
No, I think this show is really turning into the Kelsey show. Like,
is,
I
yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
really becoming about Hilary Duff. In this episode, it was really like, as far as the meat of the show, was about her character and helping her character save the imprint. How many of us are happy that the Jade Winslow era is over?
Oh, I love this.
So-
They stuck it to that millennial
I'm
nitwit.
so happy this is done. But they're working together and becoming this like dynamic duo that I think is fantastic. And we're getting to see so much more of Kelsey. We're seeing less of Lauren, right? Which we all talked about that before.
Getting a bit annoying, so that was good. Yeah.
We'll talk about that again. But what are we thinking of Kelsey and the way Kelsey and Liza are working together?
I think that they're, like, you're right, they're a dynamic duo that really are going to be able to build something huge that when Liza finally tells Kelsey, it's going to really not matter because she needs her. And I think Kelsey's going to be like, oh my God, wait, this makes, like, so much sense right now.
Oh, see, I saw it the other way. I think the more they get involved, the more it's going to bother Kelsey when she finally finds out.
Oh, I don't really think she'll care.
Really, I think that the closer they become, I think it's going to be a bigger thing
Yeah,
because
that's what I feel like.
they're sharing so much, and it's
Yeah.
going to be like, how could you not tell me this? Like you've told me, and then find out you didn't tell me you were divorced. You didn't tell me you have an 18-year-old daughter. Or like so much, it's like kind of like what Josh had in the beginning. He got over it. I don't know if Kelsey's gonna react the same way.
Oh, she'll get over it if they want a third season.
Yeah, she's going to need her.
Right. Well, they've
Yeah,
already
no,
renewed
she's gonna have
for
to,
a
yeah,
third
get over it,
season.
isn't
So
she? Yeah.
we know a third season is coming, so I guess she'll get over it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she'll get over
But
it.
again, I love where the show's progressing with my good friend Hilary, because I love her and I think she's the best. But I am getting a bit sick of a lie. I've got a short attention span, so I tend to get sick of things very quickly. But I am over it, like every bloody episode. It's almost like I love the show because of Hilary and I love that, but I'm just sick of her storyline. It's almost like, lost. How much longer can you be lost for? Revenge.
I think they were
How
lost
much?
for quite some time.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
They did just fine.
Just get saved and then revenge. How much longer can you give revenge for? But like the reason those shows stayed on and I did love them so much was because it was more than that.
Because it becomes about the
yeah,
other
it became about the other
stories.
characters.
Yeah.
So I love this show. Like still all for it, but I just want Liza to shut up a little bit and forget about her age.
We're like, woo, woo, woo. It's
Well,
okay.
so
man.
you're like,
It's
calm
okay.
down,
But
Daniel.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Okay.
you're going with that, Dan, and I think they're trying to do that, and I don't
Yeah.
think the answer is outing Liza, because then I think it becomes even more about her whole lie. I think it sort of let that be dormant, and we build up some of these other storylines, which we start to see here with Diana and
How about
some of the
that?
other things. But before we talk about that, can we talk about
I knew you were gonna
Kelsey
bring this
may
up.
get over Liza being old, but I don't think Hilary Duff will ever get over this sweater that they put her in this episode.
Guys, we're really going to bring this sweater up?
I have to bring the sweater up.
Get it
It's like
up.
the
I wanna
most
see
giant
it,
note. It was
yeah.
hideous. That striped turtleneck. She is a beautiful girl with a great body, and that thing was like she pissed off wardrobe.
Well,
Something
I will say,
fierce
I've
to put her in
always
that.
said I like Diane's outfits, but like there was that dress she had on. Also, there was the turtleneck dress with the belt that she had on when she was talking to Charles. That was this like, that was a bad move. Also,
Someone in wardrobe this week really likes turtlenecks.
Someone
someone
made
in wardrobe.
wardrobe really pissed off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone.
You know, his head stylist was a bit sick this week. Had the intern cover, and the intern had, kind of effed up a little bit. It was
I don't
very
know.
obvious. Yeah.
I don't know.
But Diane was trying to take those clothes off this episode. How about that? Hugh Shirley comes in, and he's the male feminist, which I hadn't really. I mean, of course, I've heard of men who are like behind women in being feminists, but like he took it to a completely different level.
I can't.
I was laughing out. I was sitting in my bed last night
so
watching
bad.
this, and I was just like, "Oh my God!" And then everything he would say got worse and worse. And I was like, I was laughing half because I thought it was funny, but half because I was just like, "Oh my God! Please tell me someone doesn't
God, I
doesn't
love it.
exist."
Yeah.
Diana's face like the whole time just made it too, and he was like crushing the patriarchy from within, and he was wearing a bosom and breastfeeding on stage, and she was like, he's like a male feminist. I don't know. It was hysterical.
I loved him when he was like, let's come to a deal and then you pay me 77 cents on the dollar.
I loved it.
Charles was like, done. We can do that. That's
pay
not a
me
problem.
like a woman, like underpay me like a woman. And then the other one was he wants a sit down meeting with all of the architects because he wants to sit with all of the lead architects because the buildings are all very phallic and there's none that remind him of a what did he say, a vulva.
Right.
There's no buildings shaped like vulvas, but they're all shaped like penises.
But this is a real movement. I don't know if there's someone out there.
Real?
Yeah, this is real. Like, has like a Wikipedia page.
I can do without vagina buildings.
Yeah, no,
I'm
there's
sorry.
like this is really real, and I think he, of course, is an extreme version of it. But there's like a real movement out there for male feminism.
Well, I think people just get too over.
People have too much time on their hands. They really do. Like, get a job.
Like, I'm a feminist and I am all about like equality and pay and rights and stuff like that. But like, to if there's literally people out there that are upset because buildings are shaped like penises and not like vaginas, like, come on.
You let us know if you know a male feminist or if you think this is just a bunch of crock. But it's a real movement out there.
And the urinals.
What if someone said, I hate hands because fingers all look like penises and that's not fair? Like, I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, yes, I guess they do.
But if you put your fingers
right.
together, you can make it look like a vagina.
I guess maybe the palm of your hand.
People do all
could be.
yeah, okay.
People are just weird. Yeah.
Hands are equal.
Right, I guess that's true. But is this the man? This seems to be Diane's man right now. We've been like wanting and praying for her to have her own storyline and to quit salivating over Charles. And poof, here he comes.
I've been Team Diana.
Yeah.
I love her. I think she's hysterical. And this was the most uncomfortable, amazing, creepy, awkward, sexual scene I've ever seen. He was like, I wore a tampon for a day, and she was like, that's it. This is disgusting.
Right.
You will never understand. And then he was like, the whole diatribe was like, I just want to get inside women. I just want to get inside women. And she was like, get inside women.
But her whole peripheral changed. She was like, that tampon thing is disgusting, and she was upset about it. And then next thing you know, they're like going
It
at
was like some weird foreplay. I don't know. It was hysterical.
She's been waiting for someone to request to get inside her for a really long time. And so when he said, you're right, I want to get inside women, I just want to get inside you, it was on and popping. Like, she was ready to go.
She was ready.
I don't know why, but like, it's dirty to say, but I'm just gonna say it because I thought it. But like, her vagina reminds me of like fishes. Like, I don't know, I feel like she'd have like a really fishy vagina. I don't know why.
oh, crap.
I know it's gross, but like, I just always like, I think it would be gross. Like, I'm just like, ugh, I don't know why.
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
We are really sorry.
I just got in trouble. I don't know why I just said that. I got in trouble for saying that.
That's a lie.
I just feel like it would be gross. But anyway,
my
what do we
Moving
think?
on.
Moving
He puts
on.
her in the taxi and won't actually do the deed.
Yeah, and so I had a problem with that. Like, she is a grown woman, and he's like, I want to make sure that you're just not doing this because you've been drinking, blah, 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 blah. But she's like, I'm with it. Like, if you're really about female and being like a male feminist,
Then listen to me.
if she says she's down, honey, she's down.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you. It bothered me. It reminded me of I'm married and I have a son, and I did not date a lot before I met my husband, but I did go on one like post-college like date, like set you up date, and it was with this police officer, right? And I'm like not conservative human being in any way, shape, or form. And he literally like there's one thing to be chivalrous and like open a door for someone, which like also I'm like, I can open my own door, fool. He opened my door for me, and then he buckled my seatbelt for me.
Oh.
That day did not last long. It was so awkward and uncomfortable, but like he really did. So when I saw the scene, I was like, there are men that would probably do this.
Lindsay,
Yes.
click it or ticket. It's the law.
Click it or take it. I can click it myself.
I'm like I said before, I'm Southern, so I'm used to men like they won't allow you to walk near the street. They'll always walk, so it's in between you and the street and that type of thing, and pulling your chair out. But the clicking thing,
Right?
That just
I
didn't,
was
that doesn't
so
seem chivalrous.
uncomfortable.
That
It was
seems
like real. I was like, what is happening?
Well, here's a little bit of a fun fact quickly, because I have just become friends with a Swedish girl who's just moved to LA from Sweden, and she was saying in Sweden that on average, girls, I think, are like 10% more likely to open doors for men in Sweden, because it's so progressive over there that women actually want to open doors for men, because they want to be like, no, you're not opening a door for me.
Yeah.
You're not going to treat me like I'm less than. So women actually open more doors for men, and men on average do 60% of the cooking and the cleaning and the household work, because they don't want the women to feel like back in the day.
I'll take that.
There we go, boom,
In
boom,
America,
bam.
we open the door for ourselves. And
Yeah.
let it slam on the people behind us.
Yeah, that's kind of how we get down here in America.
That's
That
a
is
great point,
definitely true.
Lindsay.
That
We
is
do have to
true.
jump into it quickly, because we did have last week the questions. So I got a few tweets
Okay.
from people about lies.
Okay.
So we said we all had to say our biggest lie, but you
Oh,
weren't in here, lovely.
I
I
wasn't
forgot to
here.
tell you.
Okay,
But
yeah.
you can tell your lie.
You guys go with
so
the
I got a
lies.
few tweets away.
Okay.
So I chose our best ones. Some were a little bit dodgy, and some were amazing, and some were even a little bit too inappropriate, even for me.
It's amazing me. Everyone's so willing to share their lives.
Okay, yep.
There
So
we go.
the number one lie that we got was
Can we get a
someone.
drum roll? Can we get a
Drum roll!
Yeah.
Someone dating 4 people at once.
Oh.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
4?
Did they
4
lie to
people at
all
once.
3 of the others?
Well, I think one was they were open with, and another one they were open with, and then the other 2. I mean, it was just too confusing,
That's
but
a lot
like,
of
didn't
work.
know.
Confused.
So we had that
It's a lot of
one,
lying.
and then we had a girl that was sneaking out of her house when she was a teenager, that then told her mum when she was 25, and then we had another one who lied about being pregnant until she was 8 months pregnant.
Oh, that's
Wow.
bad.
Bad, I know.
That
Really
is
open.
No
committed.
judgment.
I know. I was like, thanks for just tweeting me and putting it on my public wall. So,
Wow.
girls, you've got to top that. You've got to say your biggest lie as quickly as you can.
Okay, when I was a senior in high school, I went on spring break with my best friend. My mom was on the cruise with us, but we had our own little weird lives. I did a fake name for a week. I went to Syracuse University.
that's my
I had a
hometown.
made-up major, and I cheated on my boyfriend that week.
Whoa.
Scandalous.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
it was, and then I look back on it now, and I'm like, how did I just every day call myself Nikki for a week?
I'm going to call you Nikki
That's
from now
crazy.
on.
So crazy.
Nikki.
I feel bad about it now.
What about you, Lindsay? I feel like you're the naughtiest. Like, you told like the biggest lie out of all of us.
Okay, well, I can't really. I'm sure I have really naughty ones that I won't share because they're my lies.
Yeah.
But I have a good one
Couldn't
for
stop
any of you
anybody
that
else.
are young and in college. I didn't get a final exam paper done for one of my classes.
This is good.
And so I told my professor that I had explosive diarrhea.
Oh.
Always works.
And it always works, because any young girl who tells their male professor that they had explosive diarrhea and then proceeds to go into like detail on it, they're like, take your time, get it to me next week. And so I got away with it.
That's a good one, Rocky Mama.
So any of you, if you need to get an extension on a paper, just explosive diarrhea.
Oh, yeah. I'm actually very boring on this topic, because I just say I've never been a liar. I just say exactly what I think.
you.
Oh no, I just say what I think. But probably the biggest lie I've got into lately, which is similar to Younger, is I was underage at a party, because I used to work for a PR company. And of course, dodgy things, I just attract dodgy things in my life. So I was working for this PR company illegally because I didn't have a proper visa and I wasn't of age. And anyway, so I was at this event, so he's like, oh, just lying, just say you're like 30. So anyway, I was talking to this chick at the party, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm 30, like blah, blah, blah. And she like loved me. And she's like, have you ever worked in charities before? I was like, oh my god. Like, she's like, I wanted more job. I was like, oh my god, are you joking? That's what I used to do in Australia. Like, I ended up getting the job that I'm working there now, and she still thinks I'm 30.
Oh.
Hopefully she's not watching
right,
this
that's what
or
I'm saying.
listening to.
Oh my god, I'm
the,
so
You're not-
scared now she doesn't watch it.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
But yeah, like, so now it's like, oh my god, like, I don't have a degree. Like, I'm not 30, so yeah, that's my lie.
Wow, you guys are really effective liars. How about that?
But yes, what about you? Do you have one quickly? Because that was our little question for today.
You know what? I lied about my age and my name and my phone number from like 14 to 17. Everybody I met. I mean, come on. That's the way
Well,
y'all did.
speaking of lying, I think we talked about the imprint a little bit and
Yeah.
how they got rid of
Yes.
Jade, but we didn't really address it. And
get
it
into
was
that.
shadiness because they ran into Kelsey's old intern
Oh,
buddy,
yeah.
Brad Westlake, who they called the butt plug
Love
because
that.
he was so far up everyone's
Love
rear
that.
end. And
Love
he was
that.
just such a gross guy. They were like, oh, we have the perfect idea. He works for this Achilles company, which I guess is like ruining the print industry.
Right.
And so they're like, let's stick it to them, and basically convinced him
right, to buy her book.
Jade's
for
book. Double the...
But the audacity of Jade to, like, chronicle her wasting away, what, $250,000 in advance? Buying, what was the last thing she bought?
$12K on a diamond pacifier.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, we've discussed this, and there's legal things. It's kind of
Yeah.
like
Yes.
I feel like we're watching a fake world right now because legally, this would, there'd be lawyers involved, and they would be fine. But maybe I'm trying to connect the dots here, in that what they're trying to save is like the reputation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
they could go after her and go after the advance in court, but honestly, she pretty much seems judgment-proof, so once she
Right.
spent it, I mean, you can take the pacifier back, but who the hell wants that? I mean, you
Right.
can recover something, but I think the way they handled it was much smarter. And again, it gave an opportunity for us to realize the skill set that Liza has. She was able to
Right.
put together a chapter of this book overnight
Yes.
from someone's social media, and it made me think, like, there are people out there who really chronicle every single thing they do in their lives online. You could do a timeline
And write books about it,
write
yeah.
books about them and
Totally,
everything
yeah.
they do in any particular day. So that wasn't so far-fetched.
No.
No.
And then they leak it to the fashion blogs to get like this buzz.
Well, which brought Lauren back into the
Yes.
story
Yeah.
very briefly. They're
Right.
just trying to use this girl, and I don't exactly know why, but they're trying to bring her into as many storylines as she can, and it doesn't really seem to fit to me.
Yeah, because I feel bad for her because it's her first role. Like, I hate her on the show, she's annoying, but I do feel bad for her personally because it's her first big role as an actress and all of that. But yeah, she is annoying. But one of the things.
she's annoying. I
She's
think her
definitely-
character's
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah,
annoying.
well, I mean, personally, she's not
It's,
just
like,
like,
clingy.
yeah, her character. But one thing I did love, I always go back to it. I now sound like a male feminist, but I love. This is why I like this show so much because women working together.
That is true.
Hallelujah! Like, how nice is it to see finally women that empower each other, that work aside along each other, rather than fighting and pulling out hair extensions and all of that, and trying to step on each other in the workforce to get on top. I love it. I love that. I love it. I think that's the best thing ever, and I think it's spreading. Oh my god, I'm getting really into it. But it's spreading such a good message. Like, I think that's fantastic.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I think this show is a really good example of, regardless of the age, right? Because they'll keep saying, oh, we're so young and we're helping each other out, but it doesn't really matter the age. But they are working together. I mean, Kelsey and Liza worked together, and they brought in Lauren. And then let's talk about Lauren supporting her boo, who I guess they
Maggie.
are they living together now? Like, I don't really
really?
know. And now we're what? We're episode 6. This
Yeah.
relationship or whatever this is now, I guess,
Not gonna end
progressing.
well for Lauren.
Do we feel the
No.
same about, like, how do we feel about this relationship? Or is it a relationship?
It's not gonna end well for Lauren. I mean,
I honestly feel as though it's a B story time filler, and it's like the writers and the producers saying we need a B story that's not like Liza on somebody. We have to have another duo that's important, and I just feel like they're like, all right, every week gotta throw something in there about them because we have to.
Yeah. And in the first season, Maggie was so much of Liza's, like, confidant because no one else knew her secret. But now since she shared it with Josh is becoming the confidant. So, like, what are we going to
Maggie's
do with
role.
Maggie's role? And I like her role. I loved her art piece. I'm sure she sold it for thousands of dollars, which was great. Kudos. Fantastic. But I just don't feel like they have anything to do with her now.
I just think it's hard in like a 30-minute show to have so many different characters and storylines and make them all important very quickly. Like, obviously we're seeing like Kelsey brought in a lot more, and we're seeing Charles and Diana brought in a lot more. And so when you have an episode like that, and then you also try to like you said, it's kind of like a B plot. They're like, well, we gotta have something about Maggie and Lauren, and it feels kind of after the fact. I think there's a lot they could do with the Maggie and Lauren storyline, but it's almost like the writers need to make a decision, like, who are the leads of this show and what storylines are we following?
Right.
Because it almost seems confused.
Totally. Do you know what I think they should do? And I forget who said it last week, but someone said something that I totally agree with, and I think that will be so cool, that Diane secretly knows Liza's age and is her biggest supporter and her biggest mentor. I truly believe that.
Did I say that?
I don't know, just claim it because I think that's awesome. And then at the
might have
end,
said that a couple weeks ago when I was here.
I really do believe that, like, that under it all, that she is actually the golden egg and that she's the one that's really going to transform Liza. And I'm also hoping, I don't think it will happen, but I hope, because as I said, I am over the Liza secret, because she just keeps harping on about it every 2 seconds. I want everyone to have a secret. So I want
Interesting.
I want Hilary to have a secret. I want Josh to have something going on. I want them all to have something going on.
We'll see.
What
We'll
if,
definitely see.
what if Kelsey's like, okay, fine, that's okay, you're 40. I'm a man.
Yeah, that'd be so good, yeah.
And that's why she was in that sweater.
And she's just like, you want to know what? It's okay. I have it worse.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, I think everyone had a little bit of something to do in this episode except poor Charles. Like, we really didn't see him.
Well, we see him come in. I love when he comes in and he's talking to Liza and Kelsey about their thing. And he's like, just so I get it clear before I talk to the lawyers, like, you wrote the book based on stuff from her social media, and then you tricked Achilles into buying the book for twice the advance, which was $500,000.
$500,000.
Based on no book existing.
No pages.
And that's what happened. And they're like, yeah. And he was like, okay. You know, it felt like a parent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like-
very.
Like a dad kind of like disciplining their kids for something that like wasn't. He's like, you should be getting in trouble for this, but like, it's not that bad.
You
know,
were
like-
too smart to get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
basically.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
But I think this setup with the whole Jade thing, now they've doubled the budget of their imprint.
Yeah.
Leaves it wide open for like who's coming or how many people are coming next. I can like see a host of millennial characters coming in
Right.
now as opposed to like putting everything on this crazy whacked out Jade person.
Exactly.
Well, we even said, though, when, you know, they gave all the money to her, I was just like, that's so stupid. I don't care how cool they think she is.
Yeah.
It's dumb. And he said to them, he's like, you have a lot of money, now spend it wisely.
Yeah.
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 Because clearly they didn't before.
So we will see. So we took care of it from the rooter to the tutor, did we not?
The Rooted to the
think we
Tutor. That's
did.
like
I
your
think
thing.
we did.
Yeah.
I love the
Is that
Rooted
on
to
your
the Tutor.
website, the Rooted to the Tutor?
It should be.
I know.
It should be.
Love it.
So now let's go into a couple of predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz
TV predictions. Love this music and the lights.
Sam, take it away.
All right. I feel as though the Maggie and Lauren relationship is going to just completely dissolve, but she will be brought back into the picture because I really like what you said about her being essential last season because she was the only one that knew the secret. I feel as though she will be brought back into Liza's life kind of by knowing another secret of some sorts. I think Liza's daughter, Caitlin, is going to come back and like maybe stir up some trouble. I don't like her, but I think she's going to do something bad.
I like
Yeah, I think she's going to do something bad. Josh and Liza, I love them, but it's going to expire like Liza is.
Because we're
That's all I got.
Okay, well, I have to point out in the chat, Lisa Payne, I'm gonna destroy your name, Chirico, said that in the book, which there's, Younger, the book,
Right.
Maggie's character is a tad different.
Oh.
So she said, do you want me to spoil it for you, or do you want to read the
Spoil
book?
it, spoil it.
And I'm gonna say, don't spoil it in case there are people in the
Okay.
chat or watching that don't want to know, that want to read the book. But I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
But you can tweet at me.
Yeah,
I
That's
want
what
to
I
tweet
say.
at
You can tweet me and tell me.
Totally.
Okay,
yeah.
let us know. Okay, I've been overruled. Let us know what the
Let
difference
us all know.
is.
Yeah, we want to know.
My predictions, I think that Diane and this Hugh Shirley are going to have some weird torrid affair. It's going to be awkward. Although I really originally was like team like Maggie Diane. But apparently that ship has sailed. I think that Josh is going to eventually have an issue with her age. And I think he's going to really fight it. Like, I think he's going to not want it to matter, but it's going to be like this little, like Chinese water torture, or like whatever, where it's just like this little drip that's
Right.
just there, and it's nagging, and it's always there, and at some point it's going to come out, and it's going to be an issue. I'm a little worried, I must be honest, for like the show and the writing and like where it's gonna go, because I do agree. I think now that they have this $500,000 budget, I think they're gonna introduce a host of new writers and characters, and I'm hopeful that it doesn't get too crazy with too many different plot lines trying to focus and too many characters, and we can't really attach and like grow fond of like any one character. So I hope that doesn't happen, but I think that that's probably where it's headed. And Maggie and Lauren, I don't know. I think Maggie's gonna get back together. Like something's gonna happen with Maggie and that chick that we saw before.
Yeah.
That she used to date, who has like the family. Like that's gonna be some weird thing that's gonna come back in.
Yeah, because you are right. Because like for the duration of the show, because it is like only like a 24-minute show, you can't really. So I think they need to go up to 45 minutes because those time slots are mainly for like your Modern Families, your sitcoms, nothing too
right.
deep, and it's kind of not that. It's kind of a bit more than that.
Yeah.
But what I think, well, I'm not going to say what I think. I'm going to say what I want. As
do
they
you
say
want?
nowadays,
Say what you
put it
want.
out in the universe. They know more. Oh my God, my age. Oh, poor me. Like, get over it, Liza. You're old. We know it, but own it, baby, because you've got a young spirit. But I think there is going to be a new boy in the office who Hilary's going to get with. We're going to see more and Hilza and the new boy. And
Oh, good, because she's still with that loser.
yeah, but he said he wanted to come in, so
Yeah,
we can't hang out yet.
I think he might come in
Brad.
like a month, so we love him.
Oh, Fad.
Oh,
You're fantastic.
Thad.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I mean we can love him as an actor and
Yeah.
a person, but
Right.
your character on the show is a ski spot.
That is, yeah. And then my other thing was Diane. She's a bit of a nutball, but I want deep Diane. I want to know what more's going on under there. So I'm going to predict we're going to see deep Diane. How about that?
Deep Diane.
Oh shit!
I don't know if
that's
I
a
want
little
to
bit-
see
yeah.
like that deep
Yeah.
of Diane, but I think with the
Hugh
previews
wants to
for next
see-
week.
Yeah, somebody's gonna see that deep of Diane.
I know.
My predictions, like the little clue that we got this week when Liza was in the nail salon and the woman was looking at her hand and she was like, "I'm 26." The woman was like, "You are."
Who you get?
Yeah, I think we're gonna start to get more of that, and people are gonna catch wind of like starting to ask questions and try to piece some things together because that we've never seen that before, and that was kind of thrown in, and no one else
Yeah.
addressed it. But it was interesting, for a reason. Like, oh, so now there's still gonna be cracks in the story.
Yeah.
I think with this extra money for this imprint, sooner or later, I think by the end of the season, Kelsey's going to look at Liza and say, you need to write something, right? You need to write. We have this extra money for this imprint, and she's going to want to put this huge millennial push behind Liza, and that may be the thing that makes her crack and say, okay, look, I've got to tell you something because I don't want to ruin your reputation, that kind of thing. But I do think it's going to come back to her writing because it's the second time she's wrote something this season, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken. It's the second time she's written
and then
something.
that's something that I like that.
Piggybacking on that, I think I know who's gonna out her.
Who?
Brad Westlake from Achilles.
Ooh.
Well, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see him coming back, but I guess he should because he's been introduced. We've kind
He's
of gotten
been
to know him.
introduced. They now have like a, obvious.
Yeah, there might
Yeah.
be revenge for the Jade thing, because once
Yeah.
Achilles gets to that, there may be revenge. So it seems like we're wrapping it up. Everybody, please let everyone know where they can find you in this social media world.
You guys can find me online at samdavidsonentertainment.com and on Twitter and Instagram at samd43.
I'm Lindsey Miller. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rockin' Mama Life. And I have to throw in, Lisa let us know that Maggie in the book actually owns the building, is not a starving artist, and she wants children. So she owns the building she lives in, and she wants children in the book.
cool. There we go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can find me at Dan Babic on Instagram and at Dan Babic on Twitter with the underscore. And please watch Project Runway next. So I'm just laughing.
the underscore.
Because I've got Project Runway coming up at 9 o'clock. So please watch me on that, guys.
Watch that. So I'm Tara Johnson. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TJ Wagging Her Tail and at wordswinewomen.com. And you can find all of us back here next week for another Younger after show. So until then, see you
Bye,
next
guys.
week. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.